It's day 20 of the Ring Fit Kickstart 2.0, my friends, and you are now like 2/3 of the way through, which is amazing. How quick has this month gone? It's actually kind of wild. It's actually kind of wild. But the point is, I hope you're doing really well today. It's going to be a flexibility day for my weight loss and my muscle trainees. For beginners, it's a full rest day for you. But if you are doing weight loss or muscle training programs and you are like exhausted, you can have a rest day. It is fine. Don't worry about it. Just make sure that you're back tomorrow with all of that energy and gusto. You need to make sure that you're looking after yourself, basically, is what I'm saying here. So just make sure that you're doing fine. All right. So what we're going to do now is we are going to do the question of the day, obviously, and I'm actually going to ask a pretty, maybe a deep question here. Is there someone particular who influences you in your life? Let me know in the comments. I've got quite a few different influences, a lot of people who I think are really, really awesome, really cool. Obviously, there's members of my family and my friends, and there's other people who I look up to. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Anyway, as always, we are going to warm up. We are going to get that water and towel ready, and let's get into those sessions. Starting off today, we have Gluten Gallery minigame. This involves some smaller side bends, which work some flexibility dynamically before we do the standard tree pose. You know the drill by now, focus on that single leg stability. Perform Warrior 1 pose with the side bend stretches before hinge pose comes in to stretch the hamstrings. Revolved Crescent Lunge pose is our next move, which has some small thoracic rotations. This is excellent for our back and our core. Now, a little bit out of left field, perform the overhead arm spin, which acts as some recovery whilst also taking some rotation near the hips. Repeat Warrior 1 pose before a round of aero shoot. This tests your posture well, and if you need a guide on the minigame, there's a link in the description. Perform chair pose and sit with the hips in a half squat position before the final Warrior 2 pose finishes it off with hip stretch and chest stretch. Be mindful of the shoulder rotation to make sure you keep the shoulders in line the whole way through. Well done! Start this posture-based flexibility routine off with the overhead arm spin. This is effective for warming up the core at low intensity while standing. Get onto 1 foot for tree pose, performing it in full if possible. If not, focus on that 1 foot stability. That's the most important factor of this move. Aero shoot comes next as a tougher variant of overhead arm spin mechanically before hinge pose gets us to stretch with our backs and hamstrings, all whilst bracing the core to keep the upper body stable. Progress into pendulum bend, twisting at the hips before standing forward fold re-stretches the hamstrings and back. Revolved Crescent Lunge pose is next before a repeat of tree pose and then boat pose. It's a really tough move, do your best as it's killer on your abs. Focus on the upper body curling movement if you're really struggling and keep the feet on the floor if needed. End the session with fan pose. You'll be familiar with this movement by now. Make sure you pose your legs as best as possible. Well done, everyone. Great work, everyone. I hope that you're feeling good after that and that you're starting to see some of the flexibility benefits come in. Hopefully you're starting to be able to position your legs a bit better with like the fan pose and with seated forward press and stuff like that. And I think, hopefully it's going to be good. You're starting to see some more mobility, some stability, stuff like that. Awesome. So let me know if you are in the comments. And yeah, let's get into that fit fact of the day. We're actually going to talk about a little bit of a recovery based one, which is why is sleep so important? So I know that sleeping can be a bit of a difficult task for some people, including myself, but sleep is actually so important because, you see, the body doesn't actually make its adaptations in the gym. You wreck your body in the gym, you wreck your body in Ring Fit. When you are asleep, and more specifically kind of when you're in that deep sleep, that is when your body starts properly recovering and adapting, rebuilding your muscle. So that's why it's so important as part of an exercise program. In fact, my little thing that I say when it comes to weight loss is that it is 70% diet, 20% exercise, and 10% sleep. So making sure that you're recovering and letting your body adapt is so important. So make sure that you try your best to get a good night's sleep, around 7 to 8 hours if possible. All right. Thank you so much for your time today, and thank you to all my patrons, including Rain, I Love Waffles 1311, and Sick Hippie for the fantastic support through Patreon. Really appreciate it. Thanks again. I'll see you tomorrow.